From Rajgraha, the Buddha proceeded to Nalanda, where Sariputra uttered his lion's roar, Sihinad, declaring his complete faith in the Buddha, and took his leave to die. From Nalanda, the Buddha travelled to Patligram, where he predicted the future greatness of Patliputra, and then to Vaishali via Iyatik and Kotigam. At Vaishali, he stayed in Amarpali's park and accepted an invitation to a meal from her, turning down a similar offer from the Lichavis. After accepting Amarpali's park as a gift for the Buddhist order, the Sangha, the Buddha travelled to Beluva to spend the Varshavas there, whereas the accompanying monks stayed behind in Vaishali. He fell grievously ill at Beluva and told Anand that his mission was over and that after his death the Sangha must maintain itself by taking the Dharma as the only refuge. Though with great determination he fought his illness and recovered somewhat, he nevertheless made an announcement of his impending death in the assembly of monks at Vaishali. Thereafter he travelled to Pava via Bhandagam, Hathigam, Ambagam, Jambugam and Bhognagar. At Pava, he stayed in the mango grove of Chund the smith. The Buddha had his last meal at Chunda's house. After eating his meal, the Buddha fell seriously sick, but still continued with his onward journey towards Kushinagar. But his strength ebbed away and he had to stop at 25 places while covering a distance of 3 gavuttas from Pava to Kushinagar. Finally, he and Anand reached Kushinagar, where Anand prepared a bed for him in the Upavatan Sal grove. Then Anand asked him for instructions as to how the funeral rites be performed and began to cry bitterly. The Buddha consoled him and thanked him for what he had done and spoke his last words. Decay is inherent in all component things. Work out your salvation with diligence. These were the last words of the Buddha. Passing back and forth through various phases of trance, he died. He was in his 80th year and is celebrated as Vesak. This event is known as the Mahaparinirvan, the great decease, and is celebrated as the Vesak day that falls on the day of the full moon in the month of Vesak every year. The next day, Anand informed the Mallas of Kushinagar of the Buddha's death, and they declared that they shall be the sole heir to the Buddha's relics. However, there appeared several other claimants for the Buddha's relics. But the Mallas of Kushinagar refused to share the relics with the others and were prepared to wage a war over them. But Drona, a Brahmin, consulted all the parties, and finally the relics were divided into 8 equal parts among the 8 claimants. All the claimants built stupas over their share of the relics. The Buddha generally spoke of himself as Tathagat, and his followers usually addressed him as Bhagava, though many epithets such as Samana, Brahmana, Vedagu, knower of the Vedas, occur in the texts. one very popular formula used by the Buddhists in their rituals contains 9 epithets, and this formula is Bhagava, Araham Samma Sambuddha, Vidyacharana Sampanno, Sugato, Lok Vidu, Anuttaro, Parisadhamma Sarathi, Sattha Dev Manussan, Buddho Bhagava. One of the most striking characteristics mentioned over and over again is his love of quiet and solitude. He preferred to accept the invitation of poor people to a meal. The Buddha gave his visitors permission to ask what they wanted to. In this lecture, I have basically talked about the life of the Buddha from his first sermon till the Mahaparinirvan, and then the distribution of the relics. Thank you very much.